Hi, everybody. We are here and we are going to be channeling the Pleiadians today. It's one of my favorites, actually. I feel guided towards the Pleiadians. I feel connected towards the Pleiadians. And I have my partner in crime here, Jason Adkins, who's going to help channel the Pleiadians today. So I'm super pumped about that. And you can check out the description box below this video on YouTube if you'd like to see any contact details for myself or Jason. We are broadcasting live on Intuitive Angel Messages. If everybody could just give me some feedback on how we are sounding, that would be amazing. If there's any feedback, or if we're not loud enough, or if we're too loud. I hear a little feedback, but then again, maybe that's just me. Okay, I'm just checking. Okay, just give me a moment. Just want to make sure it's good. Don't want it to be too quiet. Sounds good? Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. Okay, we're just checking with the volume, slight echo. Yeah, I thought so too. Okay, just give me a moment. Nothing that we can't fix or take care of in the moment. Yeah. All right, there we go. Is that better? I still hear the feedback. Weird. I don't know. We'll just go with it. Okay, that's better.
Go with the flow.
Go with the flow. Go with the flow. Okay. So today we are channeling the Pleiadians, and both me and Jason have been receiving information. Jason, several days now, for several days, even just before you go to sleep at night, they're coming to you. And you know what's interesting is a lot of people have been saying that they are receiving information and visitations from the Pleiadians just before they go to bed at night. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I'm noticing that as we come up to today at 2 o'clock here on Wednesday to channel the Pleiadians, others in the group are experiencing this as well. So I thought that was really cool. For me personally, it's been a journey with the Pleiadians. I feel very connected to the Pleiadians, and I have a whole other different path that I'm going to channel than Jason. So I'm just going to check in and see who's going to go first. It's going to be me. Okay. Okay. So if that's okay with you, Jason, that's what I'm getting.
Go for it.
Yeah, Jason's going to delve in, I think, to the bigger stuff, but we'll see what I'm going to get here first. Okay, so I remember when I first started listening to Spirit and I had a visitation from my soulmate, who is my spirit guide. His name is Adrian, and his energy felt very familiar to me. I was like, whoa, I so recognize this energy. Felt very familiar, felt like we'd had a lot of experiences together. And so when he sounding like a he, masculine energy, started chatting with me, I came to the conclusion that we were in many incarnations together as a Pleiadian. And then fast forward to when I had my guided visualization with Alex Oren on YouTube. You can find him under Alex Oren, and also on my own YouTube channel. If you look at my videos, there's a guided visualization, and the Pleiadians pop up again in that. I'm being guided by Alex, and basically it's me in a Pleiadian planet with Adrian as a Pleiadian with me, talking with me. So it was just a nice confirmation. There's Adrian again. So when I asked, what am I going to be channeling today, then Adrian came in, and he's actually helping to kind of level me out today too, just help me relax. And he's actually just behind me. And so this introduction, Adrian, would you like to take the lead now? Yes, I would. He's thanking everybody. Thank you. He's saying the Pleiadians are here on Earth, and they're overseeing the populace, helping bring in more light, just like many other ETs, high vibrational ETs that are here. Nothing to be fearful of, nothing to be worried about whatsoever. I too was once a Pleiadian, along with Kristin's soul, many, many times, many times. Yes, I am her soulmate from her soul group, and I'm also her spirit guide. I help her and guide her and assist her when she needs, and I also work in unison with her angelic team, her angels. He's also saying he works with Jesus from time to time when Jesus needs him as well. And we are all working from this soul group, our soul group, with Jesus or Christ consciousness energy. So I've come back, he says, in this lifetime to help assist and bring in the light and help and guide others along with Christ consciousness energy, as well as the Pleadians and himself, Adrian. And so now he's going to hand it off to you, Jason. Wow, right on. But Adrian will be here to help answer questions near the end for everybody, okay? So go ahead, Jason.
I've actually had two with me all week. I've called them Victor and V, so male and female. V couldn't decide on her name. She kept telling me Veronica, Vanessa. So I was like, I'm going to call you V for short so I don't get confused. And had a lot of different confirmation. Like you said earlier, the last 2 or 3 nights when I'm laying in bed getting ready to go to sleep, it's a constant stream of information. And some of it I shared with you. Some of it was talked about in the last channeling event that you did with the Earth.
Yeah.
And then I was talking to Kellyanne the other night, and she was telling me about the new deck that she had gotten, the new tarot deck that she had gotten.
Yes.
She sent me a picture of it.
That's right.
And then the picture had this blonde man, this blonde woman. They were both in these blue suits, just like the picture that you have for the event. And I was like, okay, I was like, that's my confirmation, right? I'm not going crazy.
Very cool.
So the very first thing, and I feel like it's a lot of information. I'm going to try to condense it and get the gist of it. But the very first thing that they were talking about was a carryover from the channeling event that you did with the Earth, and it's about this wave, right? This wave that's coming in. They said that it is happening. They actually relate to the time frame of August, September. So that was really kind of cool that so many of us have been getting that confirmation. I know that there's a lot of worry for some people in what is this wave? Well, the way that it is what it is. It's neither good nor bad, because that then places judgment, right? And there is no good, there is no bad. It's just how we perceive it. They say, you know, whatever's going to happen, it is going to happen. And then they tied it into the year. So this is 2018. If my math is right, in numerology, that's going to be the number 11, which is considered a master number. 11 is all about manifestation, which is what they are tying this wave into. So if you have fear, something bad, then the thoughts that you're having, those negative thoughts are going to be amplified when this wave really starts coming in. We're already feeling the effects of it. So they tried to relate to get in the mindset of changing the negative thoughts that you're going to have, because what they're saying is it's going to be an instantaneous manifestation. Like, you can think of something and then within like an instant manifestation. So if you're carrying around all these negative thoughts, then you're going to manifest negative outcomes. On the flip side of that, if you can take the negative thoughts, because we all have negative thoughts. I don't care how high you vibrate. You have negative thoughts that come in. Transmute those is what they were saying. Transmute those negative thoughts that you're having into a positive one. So it's all about being able to let go of the negative, really focus on the positive outcomes that you're wanting. And then when the crescendo of this, is that the right word? This crescendo, like the big bang of the energy hits us, then you're not going to have anything to worry about. They've also said that there may be, you touched on this in the last channeling, there may be physical things that happen to the earth, because it's not just us, the inhabitants of the earth, that are going to be affected in the sense of raising our vibration. It's actually the planet transition, right? The planet Earth is in the process, and they said that it's happened thousands of times, millions of times. It's a pattern, right? So the Earth's vibration, it'll rise up, it'll lower, it'll rise, it'll lower. The fact that we are on the Earth means that we're going to be impacted. So the Earth has now got to transmute all of these negative emotions that it has collected from the beings that have been on it. And sometimes transmutation of the negative can be bad storms. We already have the volcanoes that are erupting. But it's just the Earth's way of releasing, which is what they're telling us to do when it comes to releasing the negative emotions, transmuting those negative emotions into positive emotions. They also touched on, and I feel like they're going to answer some of the questions that people may have had. So the next thing that they were kind of talking to me about was technology. Obviously, we have had assistance from someone, because our technology has, right? And a lot of people are like, well, when are we going to have the capability or the ability for outside of to the moon? And the way that they explained it to me was, it's right now, they give me an analogy. Would you give a child a box of matches and set them loose in the forest? No, you wouldn't, because what's going to happen? Their curiosity, their playfulness, when it comes to kids, they're going to end up burning the entire forest down. So in the scheme of things, humans are children compared to the level, our enlightened level versus where they're at. Until we can come together as a, because we are all human, regardless of your shape, your size, your color, where you're born at, we're all humans. And we have such a hard time getting along with ourselves. What's going to happen if we are out in space and we come across a planet or a species that is completely different from us? We have the same genetics as all of our neighbors. Like, we all have the same human DNA, but things as simple as our skin color can cause us to have fear, unfortunately, right? They're not going to give us a loaded gun to then go out, because we're going to, if they were to say, here's a spaceship, we're going to weaponize the spaceship, because that's what our government does, right? That's what other governments do. We're going to weaponize the spaceship. Nuclear weapons are a terrible thing to give a child when exploring the universe, right? So, and it's not just the Pleadians. They also told me, and I laughed at this because I was like, this isn't right. This sounds like it's something off of a TV show, which I'll get to. There's a connection there also. But they said that they're part of this they said the word Galactic Federation of Planets. Okay, it may be a council of planets, whatever you want to call it, but there are a group of other species. I don't want to call them extraterrestrials because we're extraterrestrials, but there are a group of beings out there. They made it about 400 deep, like 400 different types of species that are more advanced than what we are, but they all have an interest in the planet and in our development because the Earth is very different. It's a very different place than most of the other planets that are out there, because here we actually get we have so many different more emotions here, and the level of the emotions from what they were saying, you know, they have fear there, but here on Earth the emotions are magnified. So they're watching out for us. They want us to advance as quickly as possible so that we can join our brothers and sisters out in the stars, right? So when they brought up the Galactic Federation of Planets, I said, that sounds very much like Star Trek. And they said, very much like your TV show Star Trek. They said that, was it Gene Roddenberry? Is that who did Star Trek? I think sounds about right. Whoever it is that came up with Star Trek, they said that the TV show was channeled information, that it is very much real to life, or what could be our life, and it came through channeled that way to make us aware that this is a possibility. And, you know, it's kind of like you hear, oh, we'll go through phases where all of the movies are about aliens, right? It's like this secret way for them, whoever they are, to really make us aware. And so when it happens, you know, it will happen, and it's happening now, the disclosure, that we're not just going to freak out, that it's not going to be another War of the Worlds radio broadcast where people thought we were really being invaded, and they went, excuse my French, batshit crazy, right? So you have all this channeled information that is coming from this higher source, to make us more comfortable when the meetings actually happen. And they've told me, you know, they have delegates that have they've met, like our government, they're aware of them. They're aware of other species also, that have made contact. You know, they have certain deals with certain species. That's why we have the jump in technology that we did. So they're waiting for us to come around. They said that once we are able to recognize each other as brothers and sisters, that's when we will really have the opportunity to meet our brothers and sisters out in the stars.
I once asked that as well. I'm like, kick back. That, you know, is our government aware of these ETs? Yes. Like, yes. That's what I get every time. Like, yeah, of course they are. You know, but there's a lot more going on, I think, even more than everyone on the planet here is aware of. We're told what we can handle really in the moment. So what are some ways that individuals on the planet can transmute these thoughts? Do they give you any ways, or can you think of any ways that you
yeah, they're super polite. They were like, people need to do what Miss Kristin always says, and I love how they called you Miss Kristin. how when the negative thoughts come in, you're like, hand them off to your angels.
Give it away.
Also, they said that, you know, when a negative thought comes in, to first and foremost acknowledge that thought, right? And then try to find a way to spin it to where you can turn it into a positive thought. So I'm going to use an example. You may say, God, this car that I have is a piece of shit. I need a new car, right? And you may be driving something that is falling apart, but how can you spin that into a positive? You know what? Yes, this car gives me issues, but it allows me to get to work, right? Or it allows me to go and visit family and friends.
Yeah.
Being able to turn that negative into a positive on a consistent basis, and then constantly going back over that positive thought is going to bring that back into you. So it goes back into really that manifestation. Or, you know, you may say, I hate this job. God, I cannot stand my boss. I'm going to pull my hair out, you know. But that job, as much as you hate it, know that it's not a permanent situation, but currently in the moment, it allows you to buy groceries for yourself, right? It allows you to pay for your rent or your mortgage. It allows you to, it's hot outside, you know, it allows you to pay your electric bill so you can have air conditioning running. You may be going through a horrible illness. And you may say, well, you know, I have cancer. How can I turn this into a positive? What's positive about this? Well, you don't know
He's freezing up.
how your story is going to affect other people around you. You know, you may inspire someone. So you can think of it that way. You know, like, yes, this illness is something that I'm fighting, but it's turned me into a stronger person. It's turned my family into a stronger person. It's allowed me to share my story. You never know how many people you touch. Like, you don't know just by sharing the struggle that you've gone through. Like, you know, with your struggle that you had, you know, you being able to share that, there may be someone else that's going through the same thing that thinks that there is no hope at all. But because you're able to share that struggle that you went through, you don't know how many people, you know, that you've touched, and now you've given them hope. So there's always a positive with any situation. So practice taking those negative emotions when they come in, transmute it into a positive thought, and be consistent with it. So anytime you have those negative issues or those negative thoughts, try and find the positive in that situation, because they're saying that it's really going to help you when this wave or whatever this is, this energy, when it comes in, it's really going to not only help us individually, but by us changing our thought pattern, it's also going to assist the earth in transmuting her negative emotions that she has stored up, which means that when this purge happens, you know, this environmental purge, whether it's, you know, hailstorms, snowstorms, heat waves, volcanoes, earthquakes, we can lessen the impact of those situations by controlling the way that we think.
I totally agree. I've always said that. You know, the first 2 years when I was unwell, I was just totally negative the whole time. I'm like, well, how's this working for me? Not very good. So what am I going to do about it? Because you're in that moment and you don't like that which is right in front of your face or what you're experiencing in your life. So you look at the positives, look at the positive aspects of it. And if you can't shift yourself, play some high vibrational music, start dancing, watch a funny movie, shift your vibration in other ways, go down to the beach for a nice walk, get outside, go help your neighbor that needs help, go and help someone in your life. because there's a ton of people that need help in this world. Ton of people. And, you know, positivity is a choice. You can choose it. And, you know, even when I think I've got some things figured out, I meet new people in my life that teach me some different ways of seeing things. And it's my choice to observe and you know, make some different choices. It's all what goes on up here. And if I don't like it and it keeps repeating, what am I doing? I'm writing it down and then I'm handing it off, or I'm just handing it off, or I'm giving it to the earth, or I go lean up against a tree. Maybe I bring my phone with me, maybe I don't, so I can have some peace and quiet in my mind. I lean on the tree and I ask the tree to help me. So everything has consciousness.
You know, I always like to, because I'm very visual. So I would write something down and I would burn it, because then I had the physical representation of watching it turn, you know, it turns to smoke. And I'm like, okay, like I've released this negative, and I've sat here and I didn't visualize it in my head, which works. I'm not knocking it. It works. Absolutely. But for some of us that may have a hard time sitting and trying to visualize, to me, it was a physical representation of I'm letting go of this. Like, this is no longer going to affect me. Now, don't burn your place down. You know, throw it in a sink or in a metal can or something. But it absolutely, it's so therapeutic. You know, it's so therapeutic being able to, one, write it down and just kind of get it out. But then, you know, say a little prayer, say a little mantra, whatever it is that you have to do about how as you're burning this, you're releasing this negative emotion, and it's no longer going to affect you.
And some people, they love to burn it. Some people like to put it in a God box. But, you know, what I do in the moment, I go, oh, there's that thought again. I just don't need to go there anymore. I don't need to do that anymore. I don't need to rehash that thought in my head anymore. And I observe it. I am the still observer of my thoughts. I am not my thoughts. I'm the still observer of my thoughts. And so in that moment, I say to myself, oh, I just don't need to go there anymore. I've done that. I wrote the book. I made the movie. I've hashed it and hashed it. I beat it till it's, and I just don't need to go there anymore. I just don't need to go there anymore. And thinking those thoughts isn't going to be beneficial to me, and I know it. So I make that choice in that moment to make a different choice. It's all about making that different choice and catching it right in the moment. Adrian says Q&A. So that's a lot. That's a lot of info, but I love it. So,
and I love it. They're like, they said that the one you know as Eric is here.
Oh, excellent.
And I already knew he was. Yeah, I already knew that he was going to show up. He's like, man, he's like, that's some deep shit. He's like, that's some deep shit, but it's true. It's all true. I love it.
I love that. I love his blunt approach. Okay, so let's see here. We got some deep ones. Okay, so Adrian, do you want to take this one? We have a lady here asking if she is going to ever, you know, heal fully from the sexual abuse that she's had as a child here on Earth. Do you want to take that? He's processing how to answer that. Hold on. Yes, he will take this one. His question, yeah. There are action steps that you can take each and every single day. He's saying that your thoughts, your mind, may be entrenched in a certain way of thinking, in a certain way of being. Victim. Victim mindset. Also, he's saying it's not just with that. There are other things that you see in your life that are creating really bucking against the current, creating more of the same by way of what you're thinking, manifesting, creating more of the same. So how do you get out of this cycle in your mind? You can hand it off in each and every single moment. Transmute, 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 transmute. He says you do really well to just go out into nature and speak to the earth. Ask her to help you with every single thing. Every day you go out and you go for a walk into nature, you're having a conversation with the earth and she will help you. Getting up close to the trees and the ground is really important, and bodies of water, the ocean especially. Salt water, transmutation. He says it really comes down to you are not what has happened to you. And your life is in this present moment of right now. So it's really reprogramming this old tape pattern from the past core beliefs that you have going on and shifting into the present moment of now and transmuting and let going of that which is no longer helping us, serving you, but also it's holding you back. Adrian is saying that he would love to come and help you if you would like him to. He just wants to lift this heaviness off of your shoulders. Is about transmutation and shifting your vibrational frequency, and how you're going to do that is by way of your thoughts and going out into nature and asking the earth to help you as well. Shifting bit by bit, day by day, over and over and over again. He's also saying that you would do really well to have someone to speak to let loose and to converse with and divulge with. Yes. One may call that a counselor. I do know that, there is free counseling at local churches. Really, the denomination is just that if that is an issue, you can go and find free counseling. And I know that is available. All right. So, okay. So do you want to take this one? Jana's wondering, why do I feel that I am not of this world? She just doesn't feel like she... Well, I'm getting an answer here. Because you're not.
Yeah. Right.
You're so not.
I feel like most people have had more lives.
Most of us are not.
On other planets than we have here.
Yeah.
So that's why that's why you feel that way, is because you've had more lives or more incarnations that are currently going on. Because remember, time is not linear.
All in the present moment.
Yeah, you have all of these other lives as other beings. Several of them Pleadian. A gray. Let's say a gray. And there's some type of mermaid-esque, like not like Ariel mermaid, but some amphibian-esque type fishy person. I'm not sure if you love the water or not, but that would make sense with that life. But yeah, that's why you don't feel human, because you're more than this incarnation in this human body.
So Jana is wondering what predominant planet has she had lifetimes on? I'm hearing Pleiadian.
Yeah. Same.
It's like me. Apparently I tried it out as an Nocturian a few times and I didn't like it that much, so I went from Pleiadian primarily to coming to Earth. I know I've been here many, many times, long time. So Kellyanne is getting something about crystal technology. She's channeling that right now. Is there any information that you want to give on crystal technology?
You know, my first thought takes me to Atlantis, and how crystals were a source of the lost technology, is what I'm hearing, that it's a lost technology, but it was very prevalent during the times of Atlantis. You may be remembering. I feel like it's more. I feel like it's not a future thing. I feel like you're remembering the technology from lifetimes that you've had, where crystals were a source of heat. They were a source of energy. They were a source of power.
What I'm getting is that we're going to supersede, like we're going to pass that. We won't even need that in the future. That's what I'm getting. Like we won't even be needing that at some point. We won't be. So anyways, that's what I'm getting. All right. Teresa would like to have a question answered here in regards to her health, feeling imbalanced with her health. Let's see what we both get with that.
I feel fatigued.
Yeah.
Tired all the time, no energy. And actually, I want to run my hand up and down the center of my body. Like I want to follow the chakra line. And then when I do that, my hand does like this. Instead of going straight, it takes this curve and then comes back. Like a block. And I feel like it's, obviously my hand is sitting here at my heart chakra. But when I run my hand down, I feel like it just wants to kick it. So I feel like there's an imbalance in the energy body, which is causing the fatigue. And I don't know if you suffer from migraines or if you've been getting headaches, but like I feel like I'm starting to get like a tension right above, almost like a sinusy type headache, like above my eyebrow. And it's all because it's out of line. The energy body is out of line.
It's very much similar feeling as to how I was in my past with my digestive issues. And I did everything I could under the sun to turn it around before surgery. So it's just something that is going to have to be worked at. It's kind of like a stagnancy feeling. So you want to say anything more on that? There may be some decisions, choices, and actions that you may want or choose to make in the future to make things easier that may not be easy for you to make. She is saying that, yes, she did have the headaches in the past. Yeah. Okay. These decisions and choices and that you're going to potentially make in the future, Teresa, those are in your hands. And should you choose to make them, and we're talking about drastic choices, it will give you great relief. Thank you. Okay. That's what I'm getting. Okay, so everybody's asking, was I Pleiadian? Was I Pleiadian? Was I Pleiadian? How you know when you were a Pleiadian or not is you can call in their vibrational frequency and see if that feels right to you. You can also, when you connect with someone, I don't know what it is, Jason. It's like when I connected with your energy, it was a familiarity, almost like maybe we'd had a couple lifetimes as Pleiadians together. That's what it felt like to me. I can sense when someone's incarnated as a Pleiadian just when I talk with them, just from their vibrational frequency. Other people, I'm like, wow, I can tell that this is a new lifetime for you on Earth. It's a very ET feeling. I have maybe more of an earthy kind of feeling, maybe because I've been here for so long. But that's one way of telling. Bring in the Pleiadians around you. Ask them to come in and make their presence known. No, there's no way to. Yeah, there's no need to fear at all. No, sorry. Go ahead.
I would say pay attention to the dreams that you're having. Like I always have dreams that, not that I look like an alien or anything, but I always have dreams that I'm flying almost every night, levitating, or have like telekinetic, like I can move things with my mind, or I'm talking to someone telepathically, like those superpower type dreams. And a lot of the more advanced races out there do have those types of abilities. It's just a natural part of their evolution, and at some point it will be a part of our natural evolution. But I would definitely say pay attention to those types of dreams, and it can be a key to kind of give you clues as to what type of life you have going on in a different type of body.
And like you can have a guided visualization, you can have a reading, or you can connect with someone that can kind of divulge into that deeper with you. But also, I recall I've always been gravitated towards the color blue. I remember being like, wow, I'm so happy I have blue eyes in this lifetime. And I thought, that's weird. Why would I think that? But that is, Pleiadian is like blue energy. They have blue eyes. I'm sure some of them have different colored eyes, but Adrian's just laughing at me. What else would you like to add on that? No? Okay. No, that's about it. It's really, sometimes I'll have, like, when you're daydreaming, you'll have certain visions of things that feel familiar to you. Like, don't discount that. And you'll feel like, oh, I've been there before. I've met these people before. I've been around this energy before. Just like when you're dreaming.
I've always wanted white hair. Like, I've always wanted white hair. Ever since I was little. Like I was like, oh, I can't wait for my hair to go gray, right? But I don't want it to go that gray color. I want it to go like white. Luckily now, we have chemicals that can allow us to do that. But yeah, like I've always wanted white hair.
It's like that's something that I
associate. Yeah, like that really blonde hair is something that I associate with the Pleiadians. So, yeah, little things like that, like your reference to the eye color and me always wanting the white hair, like it can be little things like that can really start to lead you on that path of self-discovery.
So what are the next major steps or discoveries that are going to be happening on the planet in the next 50 years? So that's a pretty heavy duty one. Let's just put it out there. What's happening over the next 50 years? Adrian says a lot. There's going to be a massive vibrational shift. So it'll be as much as we can take or handle. So vibrationally, energetically, we'll go, and then we'll adjust, and then we'll go again, and we'll adjust, and again, and we'll adjust. He says some of the people on the planet won't be able to sustain this rise or increase in vibrational frequency, and they'll leave early by way of natural death, but also suicides. Either one is okay. It's just that their soul is not prepared to raise in vibrational frequency. And some will stay and there will be a bit of bucking the current and chaos, but that's okay too, he says, because that's just the next step, the next progression. That's just the next stage in, this is just a natural progression in what is to come. So many of them are watching and observing, and they're so excited for what's taking place on the planet. And that's what's most important right now. Massive amount of us will be ascending, and the earth itself will be ascending. Yeah, ascending is rising in vibrational frequency, housing more light. And along with that, maybe ascension symptoms. And some will cope well with that, and some won't cope as well with that. And that's why he says it's so important that we continue these live broadcasts in order to help many of you. There's going to be a lot of, like the Earth has said on Sunday, there will be a lot of shifts and changes on the planet, weather-wise, vibration-wise. A lot of people will be guided to move. There will be some chaos. But the key, he says, is holding steady, holding calm in the eye of the storm. Okay. That's awesome. That's too funny. You guys are talking about the white hair. I love it. Does anybody else have a question? Maybe Jason, you can take this one. Okay, so Anna's wondering, like, how are we going to ride these waves of energy? Well, I do know Archangel Gabriel came to me last night, and he says it's really important that you meditate twice a day, Kristin, and that you get outdoors and focus on grounding techniques every single day, because what's coming will be more than what you have ever experienced up to this date. I'm like, okay. So, right after this broadcast, what am I doing? Right down to the ocean, so that I can just ground myself. Get outside and get nature. Ground yourselves. I mean, that came right from Gabriel when I was walking last night. He was right on my back. And he was like, Kristin, I want to talk to you. Meditation and grounding. Meditation and grounding. He's very straightforward, Gabriel. He doesn't beat around the bush. Okay. Okay. All right. So, Jason, what's going to happen to those that don't know to meditate and ground? Are they all going to go a little bit crazy? Go ahead, Jason. Take that one.
Some may. I don't want to say they're going to go crazy. But I think, so this is the way that they were kind of explaining it to me, is that everyone is going to shift, right? Whether you're aware of it or not, everyone is going to shift. You're in a good place because you are aware that this is happening, right? So when you start feeling a little off, you can kind of center yourself and ask, okay, is this how I'm really feeling, or is this something that could be related to this energy that's coming in? For those people that aren't aware, they may have a hard time. Well, they are going to have a harder time dealing with it. And it goes back to what Kristin said about people leaving the planet. I don't think we're going to wake up, tomorrow and half the country has taken their life. It's not going to be anything like that. But the people are going to know that something's off. And so I'm getting this impression. Have you ever been outside before it's about to storm, and you're like, oh, it's gonna lightning really bad? Like, you haven't seen any lightning yet, but
you can smell
it. That, like, yeah, like you're gonna have a show to watch in the sky, right? Because of all the lightning, because you feel that you feel that charge in the atmosphere. So for a lot of people, that's what it's going to be. Like they're going to be able to kind of feel this energy that's out there, and they're not going to immediately turn crazy, but a lot of people are just going to know that something's different, and they're not going to really be sure of what it is that is different.
And, I know myself and several others that I am friends with that are really sensing the massive intake of energy in the past week. It's been a lot of nausea and, the heat, itchy pockets, a lot of energy, a lot of transmutation. Thoughts seem to be fixating on low vibrational stuff and anxiety, so you got to shift it off. Well, it's Ascension Symptoms, and just move it along. And what I feel like is, as we come closer to the middle of August, into the third week of August, there's going to be a month of this wave hitting the earth, where it's going to be, you will want to go out and ground every day because it will give you relief. And so if you're not near the ocean, you can do like Kellyanne has done, where you have a nice foot tub with hot water with some sea salt, and you put it in there and just have your feet soaking in there, or go have an Epsom salt bath. Go and walk out on the earth in your bare feet for even 5 minutes. And one person asked, how do I know if I'm more ET or more angelic? What do you gravitate towards, the angels or more of the ETs? So I gravitate towards the angels, but I feel strong pull towards the Pleadians. But I don't feel strong pull towards all the ETs. When the Greys come talk to me, they're going to be coming and channeling through me in the future because they have some words that they'd like to relay. It's a different vibrational frequency that I'm not used to, and it's not as comfortable for me as it is when I'm speaking with the Pleadians. But again, you can see which vibrational frequency, which energy you feel in alignment with. All right. Yeah, well, body aches, aching, yeah, that's part of an ascension symptom. Hot pockets, itchy. Heck, I'll get like aching in my face and it goes, but then it comes and it goes. It just comes and goes. So, there's a lot of energy anchoring in your energy body and within your body, and that will create a lot of different symptoms. And your body is not used to taking on this amount of light, and it will continue to do so. I'm told many times this will go on for the rest of our lives. This isn't something that's just going to come and go and then, okay, we're over. No, this is for the remainder of our journey here. So in my opinion, I think it's a really good thing to learn different ways to give yourselves relief and diligently do those things, because it's just going to keep going for the remainder. However, I'm being reminded now that as we move along and we anchor more and more, we will become more adjusted. It should get easier. And I'm like, when? But, in the future, there's only this present moment of now. So, yeah, what I experience is I get aches in my hips. It'll go down my quads and it'll come for like half a day and then it disappears. And then I'll get like aching in my upper back and my shoulder blades, and then it disappears. I'll get itchy hot pocket here, and then it disappears in a minute. Then I'll get one here, then it disappears in a minute. And then I get one down my jaw, don't know why, disappears in a minute. It's very bizarre. As you're anchoring more light, there's 3 different places that the light anchors: through the top of your head, your crown, your heart chakra, your chest, and your stomach where your belly button is, your solar. So the main symptoms really are lightheadedness, a little dizzy maybe, head pressure, your heart is pounding maybe a little faster. You're getting a little bit more anxiety, and stomach would be more like nausea, low-lying nausea, or nausea to the point where you can't even eat food. And you just have to ride it out, ground yourselves, do the tapping. Rebecca McCann's tapping. You can find Rebecca McCann on YouTube. You're tapping. It's okay. It's okay to receive this energy. It's okay. It's okay to receive this energy. Everything's all right. Talk your body through it. Your body's going into kind of a fight or flight mode. What is happening? And so you can take the action steps to help you through this process. That's why I am so ramped up to teach everybody how to channel, so that they're not just sitting there alone wondering what's going on. You guys can connect with each of us, but when you can come into the Master Channeling course, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn about vibrational frequency and how to make the symptoms easier for yourself. It's a whole lot. So again, we're starting the Master Channeling course coming in August, the second of the 4-part series. We've done it throughout the month of July. July will roll over into August, and then we're going to start August. And I can't wait to do that because it'll just help tremendously. Yeah, a lot of people can't sleep. That's another Ascension symptom that's happening recently. You're laying there and your mind is awake because you've got a lot of energy pulling in. And then you're doing the tapping to help you in that moment. Go walk out on the earth. You can have a chat with the earth. I can't sleep. Can you please help me ground? If that doesn't work, you're walking outside. Go and walk outside. Yeah. So does anybody have one last question? Jason, you want to take this last one?
Well, I saw 2 quick ones.
Excellent.
Jessica asked if the wave was connected to Archangel Chamuel. I call him Samuel. Chamuel, C-H-A-M. Jessica, no, you're connected to Samuel. It's not necessarily the wave that's connected to him. And you know that. And then Rita asked, what about her palms being warm, like hot palms?
Oh, yeah, that's another one. I hear that often.
Well, with the hot palms, for me, when I was reading it, like you have little bitty chakra points in your hands. Mm-hmm. To me, the heat, I don't know if you've ever thought about wanting to do like be healer or get into energy work. But for me, the hot hands, and you may also, when you put your hands together, they may feel like magnets.
Yes, I've heard that too.
That's something that to me, it's related to energy healing or energy work. Yeah. So I'm not sure if that's something that you are interested in, or if it's something that you thought about doing. But to me, that's those chakra points in your hands that are opening.
So the last question I'll take is August, the Master Channeling course in August, is it a continuation of July's course? Yes, except that we're rolling July over into August. So those of you that have taken the July Master Channeling course, you're not going to pay the same price as somebody that's just starting out taking the Master Channeling course in August. So it's just rolling that material over into new material as we move forward. And if you feel drawn towards communicating with your angels and your spirit guides and your loved ones, I mean, I love channeling. I absolutely love it. I can't imagine living a life without channeling. And I know I'm plugging this, but I'm plugging it hard because I know what it's like to not channel and feel that disconnect, and I want everyone to be connected. So it's, I have people come to me and say, well, you want to teach other people how to channel? Won't that take stuff, take clients away from you? And I'm like, we got plenty. I mean, I don't need to worry about that. And I want to help everybody. So let's go. Like, it's like we all need to be channeling. And that's my opinion. And I'm sticking to it. So, yeah, I love channeling. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine, like, you get to connect with your divine team and they have this the broader perspective to help you within all areas of your life? Like, it's the most fantastic thing ever, in my opinion. Some people maybe say, nah, I don't really care to talk to my angels. I don't really care to connect. That probably means that the Master Channeling course isn't for you. But if you want to connect with your divine team and you feel strongly connected, that you want to connect and tune in to what they're saying, then come and join us. All right. So I love all you guys. Have a wonderful Wednesday, Jason. Thank you so much for being here with me. And
Thank you for having me.
We'll do it again when the next ETs that I'm channeling are the Greys. Wish me luck. And so that's coming up. And that will be in the events section in Intuitive Angel Messages. So if you want to learn more about the events coming up with the channeling, come to Intuitive Angel Messages. If you want to learn more about the Master Channeling course coming up in the beginning of August for the full month of August, $222, come to Intuitive Angel Messages or Leadership of Light on Facebook. Love ya. Love ya.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.